Hello, my name is Victoria Windapo, and the title of my short film is Whispers in the Woods. It's a story about a young boy named Emeka who is wandering through the forest. And while wandering, he starts to hear someone whispering his name, but he sees nobody. So he decides to follow the voice to see who's calling him, but it only leads him to a clearing in the forest. The voice saying, Emeka, you have come, meaning that he's some kind of chosen one, but these relics and artifacts that he's looking at were actually kind of were used by people before his time to practice magic. And he continues hearing the whisper, but he sees nobody, and he starts to think that he's going crazy, and it ends there. I was going for more of like a suspense kind of thing, like a cliffhanger, because I do plan on making this film go further because I have thought of this before. uh my my inspiration for this film is African books and movies. I read a lot of African books and I watch a lot of African movies, and a lot, especially the ones that have to do with practicing magic. I want to be a film producer one day, and I want to major in fantasy and sci-fi movies. So this is this that's the inspiration behind this short film. The planning process wasn't too hard, except for storyboarding. I've never heard of storyboarding before. I've only created mood boards, but I've never heard of a storyboard. So I would say that that was like the most exciting and challenging part because I've never done it before. And the concept of it is very interesting, and I think it's very helpful. So I think that that was one of the things that I couldn't forget about the planning process. Um, my vision as an aspiring film producer was really enlightened. Doing this, planning this made me feel like I was actually out there in the industry, doing something. Even though it's just a small project for school, I felt like I was actually doing something. Uh, for during planning, everything went as planned. Like all the all my actors came through. There wasn't no interruptions except for when there was like a changing the lighting, because in the place where I was shooting, there's a lot of around this time of the year there's a lot of rapid change in weather and lighting, in the natural lighting. So that was kind of a challenge for me, but I was able to figure like find a way through that because I was able to buy um a light, this kind of light. I was able to buy this kind of light for phones. The most rewarding part of the whole production process, I would say, was just getting to work with family, because it was my cousin and my family friend who helped me with this project, because I only had two characters and only one was meant to be visible. So they were I with just two of them I was able to make this short film. So I really appreciate them, and it felt nice because I was doing what I love with family. A skill I learned from this assignment was learning how to create a storyboard and the camera angles. Um, a lot of the camera angles I do not know. I'm not very good at shooting a video, so I'm glad my cousin was able to help because he knows a little bit about shooting videos. So there was this one shot that I wanted to be an overhead shot, and I didn't have any drones. So I actually had to borrow from someone and take, I didn't even know how to use the drones, but I figured it out. So I'm good. I'm glad I learned how to use a drone with through this assignment. One thing that I would do better next time, from what I've learned from this assignment, is that I will plan ahead a lot more for lighting, and not just for lighting, for anything that can happen. I was lucky that there was no rain at the time I was shooting, because shortly after I was done shooting, it started to rain. So, and I definitely was not prepared for that. So a takeaway lesson: I will always plan for as many mishaps that I would think I can think about, because honestly, a lot of things, there's only so much you can do to avoid any interruptions. But I will try to plan ahead. This project has really encouraged me, and it has made me think that I will be a very good film producer in the future, based off of what I did with this project. So I would like to say thank you to my cousin and my family friend for helping me with this project. On a lighter note, there was this one time that my actor for Emeka actually started hearing some hissing sounds and thought it was an actual snake and started to panic.